Today is National Coyote Day, and it is late at night, and so I'm going to show you some stuff that I've been making that is related to coyotes, or I made today, or stuff that I've just been working on. So, back in November, or whatever time I found out about this stereotype that I now identify as, I made this bracelet that if you can't read it, it says coyote. I've also been making this mask in my spare time. I haven't finished it yet, but I don't think I'll be able to finish it very fast because I'm a big procrastinator. And now I'm going to show you today in my science class. We were supposed to take notes, but instead I drew instead for National Coyote Day. You could pause if you like at that moment. I also wore this shirt to school and this. I also wear some other things, but skip that. This is the design plan for this mask that I'm wearing right now. On Christmas, before I got all of my mask supplies, I made this drawing of a coyote woman. I think that's what I was thinking I was going for. There isn't too much to look like a coyote ever done like the ears, but like, not a really good drawing. I did this paper for like similarities and stuff between me and coyotes that I made a few months ago, so I could be like wrong in some things that consider you something, I don't know. While I was doing some kind of like meditation thing where you like figure out your past lives and stuff, I had gotten a vision about like me as like a pup coyote, and that I had like accidentally lost the person I was traveling with, or not person, coyote I was traveling with, and I was probably attacked. And so I made this drawing to kind of reflect that. This is called the positivity paper, where I drew good things about myself, I guess. I'm gonna look at everything. Some things are strange, but it does have some drawings. I also apparently watched Wolf Walkers that day. And this is also another drawing I made, where it's a girl on like some kind of like cliff and she's looking up and it's like her spirit animal. I think that's supposed to kind of be me. And that's kind of all I've made currently for like coyote kind of stuff. And in one of my classes, I have to make a fantasy-like story with different species. So I base them off of the 7 deadly sins and the 7 heaven virtues, I guess that's what it's called. Where they basically just possess humans to be able to get like a form where they could actually like cause harm. That's my kind of thing. It's not really a religion kind of based thing, because I don't really care about that right now. Like, well, kind of I do, but like not in like, it doesn't matter if you're Christian or anything, or like Catholic or an atheist. It doesn't really matter. It's mostly like for a fantasy kind of bit, because that hasn't happened yet. So like I made different like species and stuff. Oh my gosh, I have to move this light. And then here's the other paper. I haven't gone to all the different species because there's supposed to be 7. But that's how much I've gotten. And I found out it was National Coyote Day on the 20th, so I didn't realize it was Coyote Awareness Week last week, apparently. So that's kind of my bad, but I've been trying to do stuff for it, like preparing. I was planning to do a live, but I found out I couldn't unless I had 50 subscribers and many other things, I think. I think it was mostly 50 subscribers, so that's the goal that I need to do. So I can't do a live, so I'm making this video instead. I don't want to do the short because that means like people who don't want to see my content are gonna see my content, and I don't want that. I don't know if you could hear me or not, but I hope you can. And I'll just make some more like coyote stuff for this month. And I'm gonna stop this video in 17 minutes because that is like basically like nighttime. I have to work on other stuff. I have to work on my homework. It's been really hard with homework because like I can't really work on this mask a bunch, and I'm like also a procrastinator, so it's like you also have to work on homework, so like you gotta set some priorities aside for other things that may like help you get a better education, better grades, so your parents don't get mad at you and stuff. So kind of what I'm like at. That's why I can't work on some things like this mask. I'm maybe thinking of getting a tail, but it's really hard because like first of all, lots of them are expensive, but if they're expensive, it's more likely that they're not gonna be like a fraud, I guess. Like they're not gonna be like fake. Like they're not gonna be bad quality, I guess. But then there's a possibility it's a tail of an abused animal if it's like cheaper. And there's like lots of like, especially if it's like Asian companies, there's multiple videos about it that you can watch to understand that kind of stuff. I think it's mostly the expensive part though, because like first I have to like to look for if it's like it's from like some kind of company that isn't known for being good, and if it's like, I want to get one. This mask is kind of what I have for that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna start drawing and out, just like be doing that for like most of the rest of the time to celebrate National Coyote Day. And yes, I will be keeping on the mask. That is for security purposes. National Coyote Day is basically like it's led up to by a whole week where people spread awareness about like the misinformation about coyotes, because with coyotes they have lots of like misinformation, and if you've like seen some kind of media of coyotes, they're always like depicted as like the bad guys, or like, and they're also not as popular as foxes and wolves some way. So there's like a whole week dedicated to them. I think lots of the sources will lead you to Facebook, so you can check into that. I just don't have Facebook. I don't really own many social media apps other than Pinterest that told me about National Coyote Day. And they said it was on the 25th, but it's technically not if you search it up, but it's fine. I remember the other day I was switch to the other. I was at school and I had went outside because that's when we did when we were done eating. and like I was like sitting on the grass, and these two guys were trying to annoy me, and this girl came over to me. She's kind of like my friend, but I don't know. I can't tell people. I can't tell if people are my friends because like they may consider me their friend even though I don't consider them. So I usually don't say whether or not they're my friend because unless they say explicitly that they're my friend. I guess I don't know. But this girl came up to me. She's like, "Oh, I know those boys are annoying." And she's like, "Let me hang out with her." And she's like the same girl that taught me what their entropy was. And she had been recently wearing tails and ears to school. And I don't think anyone up to that point, I didn't really see anything of people having a problem with it. So I'm like, that's great. And she was doing quads. She was just kind of having fun. And then this guy came over and was like, I bet somebody's parents are disappointed. And then she like said, well, my parents are not. And then he kind of just left. But like after that, when I heard that, I was pissed off. So I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why do you have to go into somebody else's business and say that to them? That's more disappointing of you to do that. She has her own rights to do what she wants. She's not hurting anyone. Then your pathetic feelings. They can't understand that people like could do whatever they want. And I was just kind of mad for the rest of the day, but I didn't know how to communicate to anyone else about it because like I haven't came out to anyone other than my therapist that I am an Asterian. And she doesn't know that even though she was the one that taught me about it. Because I thought it was weird to be like taught about something and to be like, oh, I'm that thing because then I'm gonna assume that because then what if they think I'm fake and just following it because they said they were Aetherian. And so I usually don't say stuff like speak up if I'm like one of those kind of things. And it just feels like I would be like, I don't know. I feel like it's like a little intimidating because like then I have all these like expectations. I don't know. I'm pretty good at drawing human-like creatures or humans, but like I'm not really good at drawing animals. I don't think. You could consider me bad or good, but like I guess I'm better at it than some of my teachers at school. But like it's I think it's a difference between like what you consider good and what somebody else might consider like really good. Because to you, when you don't like something, it like probably like you probably take it more like if somebody else likes it but you don't, then like it kind of hurts. But then it's like that's mostly like you saying that to yourself. So like they're not putting on any pressure to be like, hey, you weren't perfect for this. Because they're actually saying they like it. But then if they say that your thing sucks, that hurts. Well, both hurt. But like now it's just like even like what if you are actually proud of it and they told you that? This is mostly like just like a slide tangent because I'm drawing, so I can't really like form like perfect sentences with these kind of topics right now. Got 8 minutes. Have you guys heard Coyote Blood? It's by Autumn J. I listened to it like a few months ago, I think. My first time listening to it. I still listen to it. I like her songs. I heard she was a little controversial for a bit because she used AI, but then she stopped, so I think it's okay. It's in the past. That's my coyote blood talking. You should know you pick with judging. I just wanna break non-toxic. Oh wait, so that's the second verse. It's hard to think right now. Okay, that's a low battery. I know I'm crouched over, but like, I'm just making sure I'm not in an angle where my face is revealed. I don't want that. Ever since like a new arrangement happened, like when I was like maybe months ago, my thing with my counselor, like therapist, it changed to instead of like once every 2 weeks, it was once every month. So now like we don't catch up as often. So like there are times when I would come back and it's like, oh wait, we're not on the same page of where I was. And it's kind of hard, but I could deal with it. I'm basically drawing a human right now, but because I'm not really good with drawing animals, and I've already drawn one coyote. I'm a really slow drawer, artist, I don't know. Can I change the audio again? I don't think I'll be copyrighted because this isn't like popular music or anything. Or it really isn't music at all, kind of. It's like audios with ambience music and animal sounds. sometimes in nature sounds and stuff. My neck hurts. I don't really have much of a racer, so I kind of have to do, like, not a racing much, I guess. Making character outfits, it's either I freestyle or pick something I know. Currently I'm freestyling, and I don't know if anyone would wear this. I bet someone probably does, but I don't think I've seen someone. It's not that bizarre, though. I have to run a mile tomorrow for one of my classes. Okay, the time is up, so I will show you what I have drawn in that time. She's supposed to kind of also be a coyote girl because, like, I'm better at drawing human-like things in a short amount of time than coyotes, I guess. This is supposed to be a coyote, but I think the muzzle is a little off. This is just a Therian symbol. I believe, I mean, like, what is it called? Is that a delta? Delta? Delta. I have a lisp, by the way. I believe it's in November on, like, the first full moon, or November 10th. You can search it up, though. And so that is the end of my video. Annie Coyote out.